Germany's coalition government appears divided over whether to join dozens of other Western nations in condemning Israel's actions in Gaza. 28 countries, including France, Britain, Italy, Austria, and Canada, signed the statement calling for an end to the war. But Germany chose to opt out. Now, lawmakers of the center-left Social Democratic Party, the junior coalition partner, have called on the government to support the initiative. International Development Minister Reem Alabali Radovan said that he was unhappy with Germany's decision not to sign it. The German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has dismissed suggestions of a rift within the coalition.
I want to strongly urge the Israeli government to stop the massive military intervention and to enable a ceasefire. And above all, to allow humanitarian aid for the population there. There is no disagreement within the coalition on this matter. We are completely united on this issue. And again, what is expressed in this letter is not a European initiative, but an initiative by some member states and a few others. We have already taken exactly this position earlier in the European Council.
And let's get more on that. DW political correspondent Matthew Moore is following the story for us. So, Matthew, why is Germany so reluctant to join this initiative?
Friedrich Merz basically has stressed in recent days that, he's looking at himself, he's talking about himself as the Chancellor. He says he's been one of the first people in Germany to really condemn Israel. And on Monday, he said that the Israeli army's operations there were unacceptable. On Friday, he held a phone call with Benjamin Netanyahu, where he is reported to have told Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, very clearly and unequivocally that he disagreed with his Gaza policy. Germany's in a bit of a tricky situation. Germany's is closest ally to Israel after the United States, and it has, in recent years, adopted a policy of kind of reason of state, which is a really close allyship with Israel and a commitment to protect Israel's right to exist. And that's born out of the history of the Holocaust. But Merz stressed this week that that does not mean, that reason of state does not mean unconditional support. And I think there's a sense in Berlin and Germany that there's a belief that private criticism is more effective than public criticism.
But Merz, he talks to us about the big picture here, because Merz has said that what is expressed in this letter is not a European initiative. Why did he say that in particular? What did he mean, and why is it relevant?
Yeah, he alluded to it right at the end of that statement there. At the end of the statement that we heard from him, at the end of June, there was a European Council statement. And it's very similar in the demands, but if you compare these two statements, the one from the European Council and the one that was issued on Monday, the tone is very different. The tone from the European Council statement is much less harsh and much less critical of Israel. The European Council statement noted the dire humanitarian situation there and the levels of starvation. And now this new statement that came out this week said Israeli aid model is dangerous, that it deprives Gazans of human dignity. So I think that's potentially one reason why the German government is not keen to sign that motion. Another possible reason is this line calling for an unconditional ceasefire. Since October 7 Hamas terror attack, German policy has been to support a ceasefire that guarantees the release of hostages. And so that could be another reason why the German government is unwilling to sign this particular statement.
It was interesting that he also expressed that the German coalition remains united. But we've been hearing these different voices inside the SPD, the CDU's main coalition partner. Just how united is the German government regarding this issue, really?
Well, Friedrich Merz, you could see it there. He's under pressure on this issue, and he appeared irritated by questions about a rift in his coalition yesterday when he addressed the media on this. It really does just show you the open debate that there is a difference of opinion, and actually that difference of opinion is reflected in German public polling. So I think if the situation continues to deteriorate in Gaza at the rate at which it is doing, that it is conceivable that these tensions won't simply disappear, Sarah.
DW political correspondent Matthew Moore, thank you.